Hi everybody, welcome back to another beautiful episode of the PreSonus History Rack console. And on this episode we are going to be having an in-depth look of the PreSonus UcSurface control software. If you can remember, in the last episode I gave you an overview of the universal control software that is on your screen right now. And remember, I made mention of the three parts of the screen. I divided the screen into three parts: the input section, which is where you find your fader and some other stuff; the channel section, this is this; the input section, which is this; and the processing section. And we categorize the input and processing section as one because of where it is on the screen. And we have the output section. So now let us talk about the channel section. Once you understand what is on channel 1, basically you know what is on channel 2 to 32. So there's nothing difficult about it. Once I show you what is on channel 1, for educational sake, I would repeat it on channel 2 and 3, so you understand that this is all same. So let's start with channel 1. And on channel 1 we have our fat channel selection. So if you look at this small window here, you find out that this looks like an EQ bar, like a mini EQ. So once you select this, it takes you straight to the equalizer. So the equalizer is always after, by default the equalizer is always after the compressor. If you select channel 2, the same location, it sends you exactly to the equalizer. So but if you swap the equalizer for the compressor and compressor for the equalizer, meaning instead of the compressor coming first, the EQ is coming first. So let's swap. So the EQ is first and the compressor is second. If I click here for this channel 1, this is my screen for channel 1. If I click on channel 2, you notice that the compressor is coming after the equalizer. So that's just a tip you should have in mind. So it is actually designed that once you select this small screen here that they call the fat channel select, it will take you straight to the fat channel screen and to take you directly to the equalizer. So the next thing you find is the solo button. So the solo button, for anyone who is into live recording, live mixing, that you want to solo some channels and listen through your headphones to be sure that is the channel you are actually going to tweak or not tweak. So there are so many things that could happen using the solo button. So I'm going to share more light on this later on when I get to the setting area, the global setting area of this console, so you can understand how the solo can work in different ways for anyone. So the next on the channel strip is the mute button here. So the mute button is self-explanatory. So the mute button is where you mute the channel from. So once it's muted, it will be muted. I'm sure you understand what that means. It will mute that channel. So you can actually hear me because I am actually screen recording and it is pre any of this processing. So it's pre any of this processing. So when I get to the post, I'm sure some of things would change. I don't know. Okay, I think it's just the processing, the processing area that changes when I get to the processing part. So the next thing you find is your pan control. So you either pan to the left or pan to the right. And if you look at this screen here, this mini screen here, it tells you the percentage of panning to the left versus percentage of panning to the right. So to bring it back to the center, I think you would have to hold command and your right click here. Command and right click brings it back to the center. So for that, then the next obvious thing we have is the fader itself. So this is the fader, and the job of this guy, I'm sure everybody knows what this guy does. So the fader brings up the level and sends it to the main output. So you can now see the main output receiving signal. If it's down, it doesn't receive any signal. So if it's up, it's receiving signal. Mind you, I am screen recording and my output is not what is coming. The output you're seeing here is not what you're hearing. So I'm recording on my DAW and I'm also screen recording. So the next thing that you would want to know is this guy here. You can see it's written G. This G means gate. So it shows that the gate is active. If I turn the gate off, nothing happens. If I turn the gate on, you see that it tries to tell me what is happening in the gain section. So once I'm done talking, the gate activates. And it tried to tell me what the range of noise reduction. Okay, so I don't want to go into the gate proper right now. So let's just finish this, then I'll move into the gate proper. So the next thing we have is the compression section, which shows gain reduction. So most times it is called the GR meter, means gain reduction meter. For many of you guys who are mixing engineers, studio mixing engineers and producers, I'm sure you have an idea of what GR means, gain reduction. So once my compressor is turned on, the C shows. So it's trying to tell me that the compressor is on. If the G is showing, it's trying to tell you that your gate is on. Once you see a C, it tells you that your compressor is on. Probably might not be active, like actively working, but it's on. So if I want my compressor to actively work, I know what to do to make it work, to start hitting hard or in, and all of those beautiful stuffs. Okay, so once the compressor is on, it shows C. Once it's off, it shows nothing. So, but that meter right there, there's a meter right there. It tries to tell you the GR level, the gain reduction level. So that's what we call the GR level. So so that this video doesn't get too long, let's see what happens when we compress. So you can see the GR level now, trying to tell me how much compression is going on. So the next thing you'll find is the pre-level meter. So the pre-level meter is the meter that shows the amount of signal coming into this channel. Yeah, I hope that is understood. So from this amount of signal is coming from the preamp here. So if I take this guy higher, you notice the signal is going up and the meter is going up. If I bring this guy lower, signal is going down and the meter is going down. So most of the time when I try to do sound check and I'm trying to get my gain sitting right, I don't need to send the audio into my PA so I don't distract people. So I just look at the meter and scream as loud as I can. I really don't have a very loud voice, but I try to scream as loud as I can to have an idea of how loud it can get if a singer screams really loud while performing on stage or while ministering on stage. So I use this meter a lot. It helps. So you want to stay within the range of -12 or maximum you want to stay around -6, maximum -6, -3, so that you have enough headroom later on in your main out. So this shows the level meter here, as you can see. So the level meter is actually pre-fader, not post-fader, and that's why you can see signal even while the channel fader is down. So this enables you to set good levels, good gain staging levels for that channel. Yeah, so with that said, the mixer has an icon. For example, if this channel is supposed to be used for the kick drum, I go to my drum section and select a kick, and here you see an icon of a kick rather. So you have a kick and you have the name of the track here. You can also find the name of the track up here. For the UcSurface control, this is basically what the channel is all about. So to summarize again, we have a display screen here that takes us to our fat channel EQ. So once you click on it, it takes you to your fat channel EQ, and also shows once it's on, you can see what happens when it's on. So you can, it just gives you, like, it's a smaller screen for this, and it also displays your pan, percentage. And once you hold Control and Command, I'm sure on Windows you should be Control and right click, takes you back to center. You have your solo, you have your mute, you have your pan, you have your gate. G, it means that the gate is active. C, it means the compressor is active but currently is not active. So once you activate this compressor, it shows C, and it shows the gain reduction, the GR meter. It has a GR meter. So and we also have a meter here, and by the side of the meter here, if you look closely, we also have the numbers. So you can see -12, you can see -9, you can see -6, -3. Then you can also find your fader, then you can find your icon, and you can find your track name. There's something also you can find where you have this track name. You can also have a color. Once you have this setting selected, setting for the channel selected, you can pick your color, red or any color at all. So if you want to take out this drum icon, maybe you want to change the icon to something else, all you need to do is come to the channel setting, then you cancel it, then you can add another, or you add another, or you just add another, just like that. So once you're done, then it stays that way. Yes, so another thing you need to understand is the channel detail, where you have your gain, your phantom power, polarity, your link button, your main. So the main basically means that you're sending this particular channel to the main. So if I take this guy off, the sound is not coming into the channel anymore, to the main output anymore. So once I have it selected, so I just activated this microphone to come out of the main channel, main left and right channel. I hope that's clear. So we have our high pass filter. Okay, let's see if this is working. Okay, yeah. So I just selected post, so you can hear the effects as I'm working on them. So this is your high pass filter. We have the high pass filter, and we also have the delay. I'm sure you don't want to use this. You don't want to use this just like that. It has its specific function, and nothing basic. So we also have the ABCD, the subgroup, digital subgroup. It doesn't have an output, but you can actually assign this to an output, and it's kind of a bit complex. So what you do with this is the same way you have this channel sent to your main, you can have this channel sent to A, B, C, or D. So once you select A, you can have signal coming out from here once it comes up. So this is post fader. Also, once it comes up, you have signal coming from here. Once you select your main, come back to your main, you can see signal coming out from the sub A. So once you deselect it, there's no signal anymore. So same goes with B, C, D. And most of the time you can do this if you want to have some level of parallel compression for maybe group of drum and all of those stuff. You can do that and send out again. But the beautiful thing is, once I have this, I can send it out to my main or not send it out to my main. I can, all of those beautiful stuff. I don't want to go so much into all of that for now, so it doesn't look confusing. So don't forget that you have to select your channel first before you do any setting for that channel. Select your channel first before you do any setting for that channel. If you select this channel and you are doing a setting that is supposed to be meant for channel 1, you're getting it all wrong. So be aware of that. So that is basically what we have for the channel strip. Remember, we also have the gates, compressor, the EQ, and the limiter. And I'll be talking about all of these things in another video. And this is basically what the input channel strip is all about. So for example's sake, I would also want to do this on channel 2. So if you have channel 2 and you want to have a kick drum on channel 2, or let's say you want to have a vocal on channel 2 or a guitar on channel 2, come to guitar and find the kind of guitar. If it's acoustic, electronic guitar, you just have all of them here, and you select and it comes to channel 2 and decide to color red. Then you can decide to go back and set the appropriate level for your preamp. And if you are using a DI box, you want to activate phantom, and for some reasons you might want to use an invert, or you might want to use a link, this link button. So one thing you need to know about the link button is that it links 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. It doesn't link 2 and 3. It links 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 together, 1, 2 together, 3, 4 together, 5, 6 together, 7, 8 together, just like that. I'm sure you understand. So you also have the same parameters that you have on your channel 1, on your channel 2. Same. So that is all for channel strip. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the processing itself, the gates, compressor, and EQ. And I would also cover the plugins that we use in all of this. I'll also cover the plugins that are available for compressor, all the plugins that are available for the compressor and equalizer here on the UC Control Surface software. So thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please don't forget to like, leave a comment, and hit the notification button to be the first to see my videos immediately I publish them. Thank you so much.